I'm always glad to see polite people like you. God be with you.
Greetings. What a day.
Stop, man! Your purse!
Sick!
Fuck!
Somebody!
Show your stuff!
Mutt! Here, Mutt! Fuck, he's run off.
Watch where you're going!
Light and dark flower. Oh. Thin flatbread. All fresh and crunchy.
God! Quick! Go! Go! Whoa!
Hey, you!
Yes?
How about stretching those limbs and getting some light exercise? Shall we spar? Whoa! If it isn't Henry!
How are you, Hornet?
I'm fine. Just a little sore in the thigh.
Oh, someone beat you up.
As if. I landed a job with a farmer down in the village here. Hired me to hold the sheep so they can be shorn. Easy money. Only thing is, as we were driving the sheep towards the barn, I took my eye off the ram for a moment. Wham! The bastard charged straight at my leg as soon as I turned my back on him. Dumb animal. What about you? How have you been?
I've been flitting here and there.
Fine. Keep it to yourself then. Want to fight?
What are the rules?
I have two. One, always put some money down. Two, don't get killed.
Pretty simple.
Exactly. Take a sword, a mace, whatever you fancy. But no bows or any of that shit.
A shield?
Yeah, sure. Just a fight close up. We stop when one of us is ready to drop.
All right. Last time we talked, you were headed to a tournament with your new gear. How did that go?
It all went to shit.
You didn't win then?
I didn't even make it there. I got into town to put my name down. But before that, I popped into a tavern for a bite to eat and see if the innkeeper knew of any work in the area. Yes, he says. He sent me to this little arsehole. The job sounded good. He said somebody owed him, didn't want to pay him back, blah, blah, blah. All I had to do was lean on him a bit, scare the shit out of him, and make him repay the debt. The reward was more than decent, so I took it.
There was a catch, wasn't there?
Of course there was. The debtor was this well-dressed fellow. He should have hit me right then, but it didn't. So I lie in wait for him. He comes along, I square up to him, and he starts shrieking.
That was only to be expected.
He's only a city councillor.
Oh, Christ.
I took off, but the guards caught me anyway. Public apology, compensation for personal injury, confiscation of armor and weapons. I was left with nothing but the shirt on my back. And that little whoreson that hired me vanished. That lousy fucking little piece of shit. So that's how my fame and fortune at the tournament turned out.
That really went downhill rapidly then.
Exactly.
Let's do it.
Exactly. Now you're talking. What are we fighting for?
I have a proposition. If you win, you take the money. If I win, you teach me some of your skills.
I once ran into a fellow named Yira. The bastard knew how to swing a cudgel better than anybody. He taught me some moves. Beat me, and I'll teach them to you, too.
That's my wager.
Ha! I can't wait to win.
That was a good fight.
Good. Very good. Perhaps I'll have better luck next time. So, Yira and his technique. Well, that was pretty straightforward. Run in and yell a lot. And twirl a cudgel above your head.
And this is what I bet all that money for.
All right. There was one more trick Yira had. He'd always lunge like he was going to hit you from the right, but then he'd stop mid-swing and catch you with his left. A right old punch. That threw everybody, including me. Anyway, and having got the upper hand, he'd cuss you hard with that cudgel in his right hand. It's all about diverting attention.
Right. Thanks for telling me.
Oh, good day to you. What would you like?
I need a bath.
Certainly. My baths are at your service.
I'd like to get to know one of your pretty bathmates.
My girls know how to make a fella happy.
What I really need right now is a little taste of paradise.
Great, but it'll cost you.
I'll gladly pay you.
Great. My girls will take good care of you, Henry.
I didn't know a man could be that flexible. I'd be happy to do that again sometime.
Aye, coming right up.
Christ, pardon me.
Help! Where is everyone? Guard!
Whoa! Fuck! I'm bleeding. What the fuck did you do that for?
You fight like an old hag! Quick! 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 Ow! Quarterback! Don't ride a Mustang! Whoa!
I'm at your service, sir.
Wie schade, mein Herr. Was wünschst du, mein Freund?
What's new around here?
And I don't know if you heard, but the forest beyond Old Kutna was on fire.
No, I didn't. I'm not from round here.
We were lucky it rained that day, or the whole forest would have gone up in flames. And with the town being so close, it could have been even worse. Und das ist alles, Junge.
Sounds interesting. Thank you, innkeeper. I need to eat and sleep here.
Es ist eine Ehre, mein Herr. And for how long?
I'd like to stay for a longer time.
Aye, that can be arranged if you have the...
Let's talk about the price.
Very well, then.
How's this?
You must be from a poor region. What can you do, huh?
Agreed. I'll pay. Here's your groschen.
Sehr gut. I knew we'd come to an agreement. I'm sure you'll enjoy your stay, sir. The rooms are clean, and there's a pot full of good food.
Where can I find my room?
Go up the stairs, through the door. It's the first room on the right. You can't miss it. You'll see a wreath hanging on the wall there.
Are you going to break bread?
I, of course.
Quick! Ka! Quick! Quick! Nice and slow.
I've travelled the whole world, and now I will tell you the amazing things I've seen and experienced. In
You
the
speak
south,
the
we
truth.
saw a land without end.
Here, in the middle of the
all
city.
covered in sand, hot and dry, with no fresh water. The people...
Whoa, whoa.
Try some wine from the... Greetings. Do you need something?
I spoke to Havel.
And? How did it go?
Good. I had to drink a bit of wine to get some answers out of him, but I sacrificed myself for the cause.
And what did he say?
It took a while, but in the end, he told me sometimes crates of a special incense are brought to the vineyard, and they apparently burn it in the barrels.
What? Incense? And he wasn't just yanking your pizzle or too drunk?
He may have been drunk, but he was telling the truth. He doesn't know what incense it is, just that they get it delivered.
Right, and here's a small reward so you don't go around saying old Casper's ungrateful. But now I need you to look into it further. We need to find out what this special incense is for. We'll have to take a look in the vineyard and take some of that incense.
We, meaning me, right?
Of course I mean you. See how well we understand each other?
I'll do it, but I want more coin. It's a risky thing to do. What's more, it's the monastery's vineyard, and I don't want to end up on the wrong side of the church.
All right. I'll give you more, but I want you to know you're bleeding me dry as is.
I'm the one likely to actually bleed. Now tell me where to look. The vineyard is pretty big.
It's big, true. But there's a vineyard house right in the middle. The custodian lives there, as well as the workers, and it's also where all the supplies are stored. Besides, there's also a side garden where they grow new varieties of grapes. If you could manage to bring me a few seedlings, they could greatly help my own vineyard.
How do I get in? Isn't it guarded?
The simplest thing would be to get hired as a laborer. There'll be lots of work there now that it's summer.
What if they catch me?
You have to be careful. The vineyard is closely guarded, especially at night, and thieves are punished very severely. Don't get caught.
Where exactly is the vineyard?
A short way to the north of town. It's pretty large, you can't miss it.
I'm on it then.
Good luck, and take care, Henry. By the way, what about the business with the Manlikas? Did you manage to get hold of the book by Bouchek?
Not yet, but I promise I'll get it for you.
Thanks. If I sell it, I can at least pay off a small part of my debts. Farewell. A sweet red, a sparkling white, a taste that will caress your soul. What are you whistling for? Wine. Try some wine from the Kuttenberg vineyard.
I didn't send you any herbal brew.
You didn't try drinking it, did you?
No, thankfully. I didn't.
God in heaven.
Thank God.
You're seeing
I don't
this.
want to be burnt at the stake for poisoning because of you.
I'd better go. Farewell.
Anyway, take care.
Easy, good horse.
Was willst du?
What's new around here?
Well, I've heard Schwertmeister Nicholas complaining about some Wettstreit. That is, some unfair competition, if you understand me. It seems some new Schwertmeister came from Frankfurt, and they are hanging around the Merchants' Street and making Ärger. But I do not know anything more about it. Und ich habe auch gehört, some woman wants to fix up the house in the Hopbrink that used to be a bathhouse. Dann versuchen sie. Maybe she will need help. Und das war alles.
Sounds interesting. Thank you, innkeeper.
Welcome, sir. What can I do for you?
Would you like to throw some dice?
What game would you like to play?
I actually don't want to play anything. See ya.
Christ! What's the hold-up?
God, that looks like a bloody expensive.
What are you here for today?
I'd like to eat and spend the night.
But of course, as you wish, sir. And for how long?
I'll be staying longer.
Of course, sir. Will you pay right away?
Let's talk about the price.
Very well then.
Do you accept?
You won't convince me with this. I knew we'd come to an agreement. Our beds are clean, and you can eat as much as you'd like, sir.
Where can I find my room?
Easy. You just go upstairs, and immediately on the left, you'll see the door with the green wreath hanging above it.
Hey, my lovely. Zizka told me you found something out about Liechtenstein.
If only just Liechtenstein. I've only been here a couple of days, but I seem to know everything about this city and its sinful people. And about the Pope, the second Pope, Sigismund, Wenceslas, about the sickness of old men, the desires of young men, who I sometimes have to beat off with a stick. Simply everything. The tavern seems to be the fount of all knowledge.
You'll have to tell me more about the sinning part. That sounds interesting.
You youngsters are all the same, but work before pleasure. After we find Liechtenstein and free Cape Bon, we'll see.
I'll look forward to it. But anyway, about Liechtenstein. Anything new?
Well, there might be something. One of the girls I talked to told me her sweetheart frequents some nasty alehouse. And one of the regulars there recently started buying drinks for the whole house. Which is suspicious, because this fella is practically a beggar. Goatskin, they call him. They asked him where he got the coin, and he boasted that he was spying for some rich lord.
All right. That sounds promising.
Of course, it doesn't have to be Liechtenstein, but there can't be that many rich men who pay spies. And we have to start somewhere.
That's true. And you've spoken to this goatskin fella?
Not yet. I was rather hoping you'd do it. That grubby alehouse is a bit too wild even for me.
Well, if it's too wild even for you, maybe I should be worried.
Well, at least you don't risk being groped by a bunch of lewd, stinking miners.
Well, it's only to be expected after all.
Excuse me?
I mean, I'm sure they don't see nice women like you very often.
Naughty boy. You just make sure nobody robs you there.
Does this place have a name?
I'm not sure if it's a name, but the locals call it the Hole in the Wall.
I see the owner's got a sense of humour.
Unfortunately, I don't think it's a joke. You'll find it in Hot Prink. There's no other alehouse in that quarter.
So, goatskin in the hole in the wall. I reckon I remember that. I'll go and check it out.
Before you go, I wanted to ask. Nobody ever told me why we're actually looking for this Liechtenstein fella.
He might know where they're holding Capon.
I'm sure lots of people might know that.
But Liechtenstein's on our side. At least I hope he still is. You never know these days.
But who is he? And why is he in Kuttenberg?
He's a young noble from Jobst's council. His family have domains in Moravia and Lower Austria. He's here to gather information about the enemy for Jobst. And judging by how important it was for Istvan to find out where he is, he's a real thorn in their side. And they're out to get him.
So we're getting involved in noblemen's schemes again. That means trouble.
I'll do my best not to get us mixed up in all that.
Sure you will. But it can't be helped. There's a war on, and we have to fight. Watch out for yourself, Henry. I have a bad feeling about that district.
You're not the only one.
Excuse me.
Did you bring anything back?
Oh well. Now just this.
Greetings.
You silly doggy.
What'll it be this fine morning?
What do you have for sale?
Maybe next time then, sir.
What's your merchandise?
Grüß Gott. Was brauchst du, mein Herr?
I'd like to go into the gardens. Why are you on guard here?
I'm afraid my sister is resting in the gardens and doesn't wish to be disturbed.
Do these gardens belong to you, so you can decide who goes in?
Like I said, my sister doesn't want to be disturbed, and my father, Master Mannlicher, doesn't want it either.
That's a very fine sword you have, Goodman.
And so it should be. It was made by my father, a master swordsmith.
Well, you can tell it's perfectly balanced at first glance. I may not be able to see the blade, but the way the hilt is fitted is clearly the work of a master craftsman.
It seems you know your stuff, good man.
I'm an apprentice swordsmith.
For someone from Kuttenberg? I'm surprised I haven't seen you before.
No, my master is Martin Menchi from Prague. We're just traveling north. My master wants to deliver a piece in person.
You don't say! Master Menchi is in Kuttenberg? Do you think I could talk to him? I admire his work, and so does my father.
Of course. Come to the Hangman's Halter Tavern. My master will be pleased to have company.
Thanks! If you want to enter the gardens, go ahead. Just keep away from my sister. My father has forbidden her to speak to men.
Don't worry. I'll give you my word as a swordsmith.
Auf Wiedersehen, mein Herr.
Are you Miss Adletta?
That's me. And what is your name, you handsome fellow?
Henry.
A nice name. But I have to warn you, I won't be a miss for much longer. Seeing you here makes me regret that a little, though.
The pleasure's all mine. I'm here on behalf of Caspar Rudolph. It's about the book he lent you.
Caspar? Oh, the poor thing got a proper hiding from my father. How is he?
He's well. His wine business is flourishing.
I know perfectly well that it's not flourishing. But I'm glad Caspar at least has good friends.
What about that book? Do you have it?
When we were friends, he gifted me that book. There was no mention of it being on loan. And now he wants it back all of a sudden?
No offense, miss, but are you even interested in a treatise on wine?
Of course not. But Caspar kept going on about it, and I wanted to make him happy. Since I've been locked up here, I've even tried to read it out of sheer boredom, so that I don't have to embroider all the time.
What if we became friends, and you gave me the book?
You're taking a big risk, good man. My father could have your tongue cut out for that kind of talk. He's not too keen on my friends.
That doesn't bother me.
But it's not that easy to become a friend of mine. First, you need to impress me somehow.
My wits are somewhat addled in your presence. How could I impress you?
Why not give me a flower as a token of your love? You see that garland? It doesn't go with my dress. It needs a little something extra.
I could manage that.
Hurry up then. Off you go, gardener.
You're always welcome here, noble sir.
Brought you something to add to your garland.
Well, show me, gardener. Oh, they're lovely. You have an eye for flowers. What would you like as your reward?
How about a kiss?
Here, now? In broad daylight?
Why not? We're alone here.
That's what you think. I don't want to make my family angry. And it would be a pity if you came to harm as well.
So you don't want...
If the circumstances were different, who knows? But your charming courtship has made me happy.
I'd like to take Casper's book now.
Of course. That's what you came for, isn't it?
I have the book, so I'll be off.
Farewell, Henry. Never forget me.
Oh,
what's that?
Why did you do that?
Shame on you!
I'll beat you to a bloody fucking state out of it.
I'll go and have a look.
It's a good thing Mutt isn't here.
Damn it.
I don't feel much like moving somehow.
I'll be done with you in a flash. What's the matter on you? Stop fighting.
This has been going on too...
Do that.
Christ! I don't have the whole day for you.
I'm off duty. Someone else can deal with it.
Didn't see that.
Madman. Why did you do it?
Here, Mutt.
It's unbelievable. These days, no one's ever really safe.
Shame on you.
Here,
Send
Mutt.
my greetings to the devil!
Fuck!
To the stocks with him!
Die, you swine! This has been going... To hell with you, you scum!
Shame on you! What are you lying here for? Filthy vermin!
Hey, wake up! Greetings, my friend. I'll be with you, sir.
I'm looking for a fella called Goatskin.
What's that got to do with me? If you want to nose around here, you'll have to go through Chenyek.
Could you tell me more about this Chenyek?
No, I couldn't. We don't talk to strangers here.
And where can I find this Chenyek?
How do I know? He'll be round here somewhere. Or not. See if he's with Hugo.
And who's he?
You'll recognize him.
Right. I'm gonna see if I can find that Chenyek. Here, Mutt.
I'll have a beer.
I reckon he's been sitting here a while.
Are you going to bake bread today?
Aye, of course.
One beer.
I'm looking for a fella called Goatskin. Do you know him?
Aye. But I reckon I ain't gonna tell you nothing.
Why not?
Because I don't know you. Although the way you're kitted out, you seem like you might fit in here.
Who are you? And your people?
Well, I'm Chenyek.
All right. But why all that horse shit about whether I'd fit in with you or not?
Look at it like this. This is a place for a certain sort of people what have their own rules. Although folk usually think we don't play by no rules.
Ah, I reckon I see now.
Grand.
I'll fit right in here. After all, I'm in the trade.
Funny, I ain't seen your mug before, though.
No, I ain't from this neck of the woods. I do business mostly out of Colleen, only the catchpoles there are on my heels. I done in this fucker what owed me a pile of glint. Only the bugger turns out to be the son of a councillor, so I needs to lay low for a bit, see? A mate of mine sent me to see Goatskin. Says he owes him from way back and he'd get me fixed up like...
One of ours from Colleen. Well, that's another story. Our doors is always open to you fellas. What was it you wanted to know?
I'm looking for Goatskin. I hear he used to come here.
Aye. Thing is, ain't nobody seen him here for a few days.
But he used to come here?
Aye. He was here day in, day out. Only this time some burly lads came here and duffed him up proper.
Do you know the men who beat him up?
No, but there were some Jews among them, and that's pretty odd, seeing as how they don't usually get mixed up in nothing.
Why did they give him such a beating? Did they say anything?
Well, Goatskin is a right knob end. Always asking for it, he is. But I reckon this time it was about his big gob. The last week he was coming, throwing glint around. And when we squeezed him about where he got the coin, he said he was spying for some lord.
And does this lord have a name?
He didn't say. We didn't swallow his yarn about spying, anyway. We reckoned he made a score and just wanted to look like a big man.
What happened to Goatskin? Does anyone know where he is now?
No word. But I reckon he's holed up somewhere, licking his wounds. Seems he stuck his nose in a wasp's nest, and he won't be sticking it out again for a while. If you're going to look for him, try it at night. You don't stray far when he's on the job. Usually between Hradek and the horse market. He goes after drunks. So I try asking in the local drinking dens.
All right. What does he look like, though? He can't be the only fella who likes to relieve drunks of their purses.
God's truth. But you'll know Goatskin when you see him. They call him that on account of how he got kicked in the head by a goat as a nipper. He's got a dent in his forehead you could use for a game of marbles.
Why didn't you defend Goatskin? Isn't he one of you?
He is and he ain't. I'm no saint, but that Goatskin stepped in some nasty shit and then walked it in our door and all. I ain't saying we don't look out for each other, but there's limits, innit?
I'm sure you know the town better than me. What drinking dens are there on Goatskin's patch?
Between the horse market and Hradek, there's the Black Horse, a miner's tavern. Wayman the taverner used to be a miner, and then there's the Big Bathhouse. It belongs to some bloke called Adam. He tarted the place up big.
Any others?
None I know.
Thanks. I'll go and look for him.
I wish you luck then. He ain't the brightest, but he's got a real talent for saving his own skin. Once you're done with him, come by and see us. Seems after all you're a pretty handy bloke. We could use the likes of you.
If you've got some job for me, you can tell me straight up. So what kind of work do you have for me?
A job worthy of your skills. But first, just a little test to see that you're not as dim-witted as that arsehole Goatskin. What is Wycliffe's first thesis?
Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven, said our Lord, meaning a return to simplicity.
Wrong. Second question. Which estate has the greatest reformatory potential?
The commoners.
Correct! The Reformation must start from the bottom and ignite like a flame in the hearts of all, so that in the end the Holy Church itself will be set ablaze with purifying fire.
I knew right away that the people who meet here in the hole are a different bunch.
You thought we were just paupers who couldn't count to 5, didn't you? But now let's see who's the pauper. Last question. Who is the rightful king of Bohemia?
Sigismund of Luxembourg.
So you're a beggar, but the kind that likes to joke around. But that might actually prove useful. All right, now let's talk about the job. I'm sure you'll be glad to hear that it concerns your beloved emperor. It's he who will secure your place in our humble company.
From what you said, I gather you're not spying for Sigismund. It's rather the other way around, huh?
We call ourselves the Guild. We profess the ideals of equality and brotherhood. Our only law is the Holy Bible. Worldly justice is as fickle as a common whore, yielding to those who are in power.
Justice for me or the gallows. Aren't you afraid to end up there?
Friend, one must be willing to suffer for the truth. Sigismund is a usurper. And the church and the magistrates are but a lowly horse spreading her legs for Sigismund. As long as we go against Sigismund and honour the scripture, our souls remain pure.
What if I go and tell the bailiff you're calling him a whore? Just out of courtesy, you know?
Go ahead. Perhaps you are one of the lucky ones who are not harmed by Sigismund's presence in Bohemia. Maybe you don't mind selling a piece of your conscience by ratting us out. As for me, I will go to the town hall with my head held high. But you?
Don't worry. I was just teasing you. I think the same of Sigismund. Tell me about your operation here.
We are who we are, and we do what we do. Like the early church of Jesus' apostles, in unity and fidelity to his words. I'm in charge. I plan all our missions. Goliath is the muscle. Knuckles, well, he mostly complains. But he also knows his way around locks. But we're all equal. We share the profits equally, but we don't do it for the wealth. We want to drive Sigismund out of this town.
How can I join you?
You want to join us already? I don't have to talk you into it. That's great. We're not particular about formalities. Let's just have a beer, and then you're one of us.
Here's to the guild.
To the guild! That reminds me, I'd like to throw a feast for the poor. The bigger the better.
Didn't you say you were just ordinary people with no money?
We are. And this is where Sigismund comes in. Because he's going to pay for the feast out of his own pocket.
That was a good one. How are you going to make that happen?
Me? No. You'll make it all happen. Listen carefully. Sigismund seized land down in the valley near Pach and built his personal warehouse on it, right under our noses as a provocation. There he stores fancy foods and gifts for his commanders, and for that red-bearded gob of his. Sausages, smoked meats, foreign spices, and more. Fancy delicacies from Italy, Hungary, Slavonia, and all the other shitholes where he owns land. While we're eating porridge and cabbage all the time. You will steal all the food you can carry from that warehouse. And as a nice token, you will leave there... Let's see... What would you leave there?
That cabbage you said you were eating all the time?
Brilliant! Get at least one head from the greengrocer and leave it there for Sigismund. Let him eat for once what we have in our bowls almost every day. But I'm warning you right now, no violence. Don't even think about slitting anyone's throat in that warehouse. The job isn't to punish some poor sod on guard duty. Is that clear?
Got it. What should I do with the stolen food?
You'll give it to the beggars. Let them feast like kings for once. It's not hard to find poor people in the town. Just go to the gates or churches, and you'll surely come across some. There are also tents full of them in Minor Street, Church Street or Cobbler Street. When you're done, come and see me, and we'll figure out what to do next.
Sigismund will be fucking livid he can't enjoy his fine sausages. Can I expect any help from you?
If you need some tools, stop by Knuckles. That's all I can help you with.
How about some reward?
Keep a few sausages for yourself.
I prefer groschen.
Jesus looked around and said to his disciples, how hard it is for the rich to enter the kingdom of God.
Hey, innkeeper, that beer.
Children, how difficult it is to enter the kingdom of God. It is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of God. Let's get to work.
All right. I'll head out.
Good luck.
I'm interested in the guild.
Plato or Aristotle?
The guild.
Right. Are you interested in our ideals or the group in general? Generally speaking, we are just ordinary peasants. Paupers, beggars, common rabble. At least that's what they like to call us. The lowest of the townsfolk. But if we're the dregs of the city, we still hold our bare arses high and have a passion for a good cause in our hearts.
Tell me about yourself. Where are you from, and what brought you here?
Don't you have anything better to do than listen to that kind of rubbish? All right. I'm from Kuttenberg, son of a tailor. I studied at the university in Prague and met a lot of interesting people there. And let me tell you this. The wisest people in this kingdom know a big change is coming.
You mean that reformation you like to talk about?
A great wind will come and sweep away that which has no firm roots. Then the rain comes and moistens the soil so that new grain can grow on it.
Could you stop with the metaphors?
You're not stupid. I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. There's not much more I could tell you about myself. Except maybe when this is all over and we've established this brave new world, I will return to my studies. Take care, friend.
Come here for a word.
What would you like?
I don't want to yell. Come closer. You're new here, aren't you? Has Chenyek talked the head off you already?
We spoke.
I'll give you some good advice to start with. Don't listen to his bollocks about a fairer society and the honourable struggle for a better tomorrow. It's just bullshit to mess with newcomers like you. By the way, they call me Knuckles.
Don't worry. I don't really buy all this horse shit.
Then we're in the same boat. I mean, Chenyek talks about sharing stuff fairly and how we don't do it for the money. But you know what? It's horseshit. It's every man for himself down here, even if they say otherwise. And Chenyek just gives it such a nice polish.
Are you saying he lied to me?
More like, he didn't tell you the whole truth. I heard from friends that Sigismund has a bottle of very fine wine somewhere in his warehouse. The kind of wine that you don't often see in these parts. I have a buyer for it. So if you bring it to me, I'll give you half the coin he's paying for it.
That sounds reasonable. What do you know about the wine?
I knew we'd get along. The wine is in a warehouse somewhere. If you find it and bring it to me, I'll give you a better price for it than any merchant in the town. So think about it. The buyer I got is particularly interested in this bottle.
I'll look for it. Chenyek said you could give me some gear too.
All that talk about equality, brotherhood. But when it comes to lockpicks, I'm supposed to give you stuff from my own stash. Here's something you might find useful.
Thank you.